Welcome to Trostani's Thanksgiving Tokens. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Scattered Groves, Worldly Tutor, Ancient Tomb. This is, I like this hand. Yeah, let's go and keep. Hopefully we get lucky. We've been having some trouble cooking the turkey with Trostani today, so hopefully this is I kind of like what we've got going on in this hand. Hopefully, Magic the deck, the shuffler treats us well. Let's go and lead off with Scattered Groves, and then anything else. Let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Trostani's Thanksgiving Tokens. Happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day today. Whether it's spending it with family or spending it with yourself, whatever that is. Hopefully, it's a good one. Let's go and start off with our commanders. We're playing Trostani, Selesnia's Voice. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Then for a 3-mana activation, populate. Playing gets Aurelia. Flying and Mincer at the beginning of combat on your turn. Choose up to one target creature you control. That creature gets +2/+0, gains trample if it's red, and it gains vigilance if it is white. So, if you're playing Aurelia, whenever you swing in with Aurelia, you can actually target herself. So that kind of makes her ability a pretty cool ability. But let's see if our opponent wants to get something going for the turn one, and then we'll get ourselves going. Okay, so they get down a Sacred Foundry and then pass. All right, wonderful. We hit a colored source. That's kind of what I was worried about. Let's go to get down Plains, and then we're going to go and pass the turn back over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. It is free time, and we can talk about whatever we want. But yes, if you're new to the channel or you haven't seen this since last year, every Thanksgiving I like to do holiday decks around the different holidays of the year, and my Thanksgiving deck is Trostani. So I don't know. She seems like she would cook a really nice Thanksgiving dinner, and that she'd be very welcoming to all sorts of people to come eat with her. And so that's why I decided to have her be my Thanksgiving token. Plus, Trostani's Thanksgiving tokens that has a pretty nice ring to it. Always like that. Let's go and go for Worldly Tutor. We'll go ahead and put probably grab a Mana Dork. Let's go and grab. I think at this point we've got double white at least. Let's go and grab a Avacyn's Pilgrim. Excuse me, Elvish Mystic. That way we at least have some sort of a green source. I guess technically we could have gone for Secure Tri-Builder. That might have been a little bit better, but we'll still go and get down Elvish Mystic. And let's go and get down Ancient Tomb. We have a little bit of a Mana Dork on it. Yeah, I probably should have grabbed, in case they have some sort of spot removal. That would be a major bummer. But we're going to get down Ancient Tomb, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, I thought there'd be nothing more Thanksgiving than life gain and tokens on the battlefield, and especially, trying to win the game with a bunch of 6/6 worm tokens. That is very Thanksgiving in itself right there. Now, as far as the core of the deck, this is, like I mentioned, it's 100% just green-white tokens, which is a fun deck to play. I think green-white tokens is might have been the second deck that I played once I got into Return to Ravnica, just because, it's a ton of fun to play. I was going to get down Plains, and yeah, I think I like going for Trostani. That's going to give us a little bit of life gain if we start to get some of these tokens going. That's going to be double green off of them, double white. It's going to get down Trostani, then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, green-white tokens is kind of like my second or third standard deck, and it's a lot of fun. If you've never played tokens, I highly recommend it. It's just, you end up with some really crazy board states sometimes. We've got stuff like growing ranks. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can populate. You have stuff like parallel lives. You have doubling season. Those are a bunch of different ways to really kind of amplify the amount of tokens that you can get. Now, even something simple like Arachnogenesis. Let's say that you have doubling season on the battlefield, swinging in with 3 creatures. That's going to be 6 angels on the battlefield. I mean, just a lot of fun. All right, so we've got Aurelia swinging across for a 4/5. We do need to watch out for commander damage. That is something that we need to definitely keep in mind, because that is not going to be good. Let's go to get down Flagstones. It's going to come into play. Now, at this point right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 total mana. So that does put us on growing ranks and going for Arachnogenesis. I think I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for growing ranks. Even though it's only going to be 2 creatures, one token on the battlefield with growing ranks, that's going to allow us to at least get these spider tokens on the battlefield. And I think these spider tokens, yeah, they do have reach, so that's at least going to allow us to get some sort of populate going from our opponent. So, and we do need to do Arachnogenesis whenever they are attacking. If we don't do it during their attack step, I think I did that during one video, and I was like, why didn't we get any spider tokens? And I was like, oh, we cast at the beginning of combat, so. Or something. I remember doing some kind of weird line of play like that. Opponent's going to go for Elspeth. Okay, so that is definitely a clock, and that's going to be some really nice Crusade triggers. Row. My goodness. I think what we need to do to be perfectly honest, is take a turn off, let Aurelia swing in, and then go for Arachnogenesis next turn. I think that's a pretty good idea because that's going to be them swinging in with a ton of tokens. That's going to give us a ton of options. And yeah, I think I like doing that. So they're going to swing in with a 7-8. It's not going to really kill us at this point right now or deal us lethal commander damage. So we can at least kind of survive at this point right now. And there's nothing else to populate. So let's see what we draw into. Actually draw into Governey Township, which is pretty good. Let's go to get down Governey Township. So we're looking at going for Arachnogenesis. That's going to be 3 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to put us in. I think we can actually end up going for, yeah, we can actually go for Arachnogenesis and go for Governey Township. So that'll be pretty good. So let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent at this point right now. We're going to wait for them to go for that Elspeth activation, and then we'll get a few spiders on the battlefield. As Trostani grabs the turkey out of the oven, throws it at Aurelia, and a bunch of spiders pop out. Ha ha! Happy Thanksgiving, Aurelia. And actually reminds me, this is a Guilds of Ravnica, or this is a Ravnica matchup, which is actually pretty sweet. And I like to imagine them all having Thanksgiving together. I don't know, that sounds like it'd be pretty fun. All right, so opponent's going to get down Path of Bravery. As long as your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total, creatures you control get +1/+1. And then whenever one or more creatures you control attack, you gain life equal to the number of attacking creatures. So that life gain is going to make for a really good. Oh no, creatures you control have first strike. Okay, that is the exact thing that we didn't want to see. We can still stabilize, and to be honest, we're not really stopping a bunch of tokens that are 5/5s, and we'll see what they are now, a bunch of 8/8s. We weren't going to be stopping those anytime soon, but at this point right now, at least we do thankfully have Arachnogenesis, and then even next turn, we have another Fog with Heroic Intervention, so that's pretty cool. I'll take that. So they're going to be swinging across, and then that's going to be, they are in the attack step, so we can go, yeah, because they are attacking us. So we can go for Arachnogenesis. Let's go and go for Arachnogenesis. That's going to be green with Elvish Mystic. And actually, we can still block on a couple of these soldiers, prevent all, yeah. So let's do it like this. Let's, no, we need to make sure we have to declare them a blocker. So let's go and go for Scattered Groves, and we'll go for Ancient Tomb. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go and get, that's going to be at least 4 spiders on the battlefield. And let's go and always yield to that. Let's go and get some life gain going. It's going to put us back up to 23. It's going to give him the Mentor trigger. And the only downside is we've got a bunch of spiders on the battlefield, but we can't prevent that combat damage. Let's see. So we block 1 soldier, 1 soldier. And we need to hit Aurelia, and I think that's all that's attacking. Yeah, because we're going to have to block across the board on that. And then we'll still be able to go for the Governey Township activation. So let's go and put a bunch of +1 counters on our creatures. Okay, so we're going to at least be able to stop the Aurelia army for a turn. And to be perfectly honest, if we don't win this game, just getting an Arachnogenesis down with the... all this stuff is really wonderful. I'll take it. I was going to make a copy of a spider token. Be able to gain that extra life. And then we, draw into parallel lives. So how are we going to sequence this? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 total mana, so we can definitely get down parallel lives and go for Heroic Intervention. Or if we want to, we can go for Revelation, draw a ton of cards, and still go for Heroic Intervention. I think I'm really on the Heroic Intervention game plan. The only downside is if we go for Shamanic Revelation, that's going to be double green, and we don't have access to another green source. We have not hit the land drop for the turn, so we should hit the land drop. Yeah, let's go ahead and risk it. We're going to go ahead and tap down Elvish Mystic, and we should hit this land. We should hit a green source off of that many cards. Okay, we do. Wonderful. It's going to get down Forest. So that's going to put us at still being able to go for Heroic Intervention. And actually, we don't really have a ton of good... Ooh, yeah. Go for Oblivion Ring? We'll need to go for Oblivion Ring next turn if we're going to be going for Heroic Intervention. But I think that's about... yeah, because we don't have an extra land source. We'll definitely go for that next turn. And if we had another green source, I'd love to get down Essence Warden, but at least we're going to make this game be pretty interesting. Be a nice little Thanksgiving game for our opponent. We'll be able to at least block on a bunch of these creatures. Let's go, at this point right now, let's go ahead and discard. Pretty much want everything we've got in our hand. And let's go and get rid of planes because we at least grab a dual source off of that flooded strand. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 creatures swinging across this next turn. We're at least going to be able to block on Aurelia and Archetype and Trostani too. So the main thing is once our opponent does get down Elspeth and goes for that -7, they all have flying. Thankfully with the spider tokens we can still block on a lot of these creatures, but with Oblivion Ring, we're at least going to be able to get rid of that -7. Even though an argument could be made that we need to deal with Crusade, but to be perfectly honest, we need to get rid of these tokens. You can see how nuts it is with Mentor of the Meek and Crusade out there. That is something we definitely don't really want to run into. Okay, but it's going to get down Hoplite, and I'm staring at this heroic intervention, just imagining if I was playing against Eli in the lounge, that like he's just like, I know this is if I was playing against Eli, he'd be like, I know they've got no Jolt has heroic intervention, I know it. Okay, so they're going to swing across. Let's see who they decide to swing in on this one. That is a ton of damage. Ooh. Okay, and that will be the Mentor trigger. We'll see if we can't do a little bit of board control next turn, but either way, we've had a lot of fun with growing ranks and Arachnogenesis. I'm going to gain some life, go up to 31. Okay, so let's dish some blockers. So we need to definitely take care of commander damage. We need a spider token on a 12/12. We need it on a 14, a 15, a 15. That's going to be another 10. Now we are sitting at 23, and that's going to be 20. That's a pretty good chunk of damage. We're still going to be able to get our creatures to survive, though, for a turn. We're going to click OK. Let's go and go for Heroic Intervention. Hexproof and Indestructible. And that should put us down to 3 if I did my blocking correct. We've got the Trostani tokens. They're holding on for dear life as much as possible. Oh, excuse me. Aurelia has Trample. Where did she get Trample from? I think it's from that, I didn't realize it had Trample. Okay, that's a bummer. Where did Trample come from? Oh, excuse me. That's her just natural abilities to get Trample. For some reason, I completely grazed over that with them giving Aurelia Trample. So anyway, opponent's going to get it on this one. That's a little bit of a bummer. I was hoping to get some good Thanksgiving tokens going, but yeah, I just got wrapped up in commentary and forgot about the actual Trample ability from Aurelia. So that happens sometimes, but either way, to be perfectly honest, this was definitely an uphill battle. We were not going to be able to stop the onslaught of tokens coming across, because even if we just sit there with a bunch of 2/3s, they're still going to get it with that Trample damage. So good game to our opponent. Aurelia is going to take the fried turkey on this one. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Trostani's Thanksgiving tokens and happy Thanksgiving. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We're going to keep on this one. We have some sort of token enabler with parallel lives. We also have a token buff with intangible virtue, and then also some token card draw. So this is pretty much like everything you want in an opening hand. I love it. Let's get our graveyard pop back up. Let's go and get down Wooded Foothills, and then next turn we'll decide what we're going to go for with Worldly Tutor, but probably end up grabbing a Mana Dork. I kind of like going for that. But yes, welcome to Trostani. Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving today. Hopefully you're spending it with friends and family. If you are not, then hopefully you're enjoying your day to yourself. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. And do we want to grab a creature? I think we do. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills, and we're going to grab a plateau off of this. Excuse me, Savannah. I always get my dual lands mixed up in my head. Let's go and go for Worldly Tutor, and then let's see what we want to grab off of this. Let's get this popped out just a little bit. So we've got Avacyn's Pilgrim is going to be a great way for us. Yeah, I think we might end up going for Avacyn's Pilgrim. Mainly thing is that we need double white and double green to get down Trostani, so we do have double green, and then once we get down Avacyn's Pilgrim, that'll be double white for us, and we just need to hit another land source, and we'll be good. Let's go and get down the forest. Let's go and go for Avacyn. And then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Azusa, Lost but Seeking, so it should be interesting. Now with Trostani, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Then for a 3-mana activation, populate. So that means make a copy of a creature token that we control on the battlefield, which is always a lot of fun. Curse Totem, activated abilities of creatures can't be activated. All right. There we go. Playing gets, there goes Trostani's populate ability that I just explained. That happens sometimes. Let's go and go for, let's get down the city tree. And that's going to cut us off Avacyn's Pilgrim too, which is a little bit of a bummer. Let's go ahead and go for Twilight Drover. Look, that'll work out. Yeah, because we can't get anything else done. We'll go and go for Twilight Drover. That way, if we get some sort of creature tokens, we can get that going. Let's go and swing in for one since Avacyn's Pilgrim has been taking off of mana duties. Let's go and swing in for one, knock him down to 29, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We were playing against Azusa, Lost But Seeking. You may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns. Now, if you're new to the channel, one of the things that I love to do is during holidays, I like to put out certain holiday decks. We only play once a year. You know, I've got a ton of commander decks, 50 or 60 commander decks, and I like to keep certain decks that are just special for the holidays, and Trostani is my Thanksgiving commander. It was one of those, I was trying to find a Thanksgiving commander, and I was like, well, what would be the most, you look at Selesnya, and that sounds like a pretty good idea. And then, I don't know, you just look at Trostani's picture, she's got her hand out, and she seems really welcoming. Now, I will say this, that Amara, the new one from Guilds of Ravnica, pretty sure that's her name, she definitely would make a good Thanksgiving commander. But I already have Trostani, she's been here for a long time now, so I just kind of like having her there. That's what it is. I was going to crack and go double green. Let's go and get down Courser of Krufix. That was a wonderful draw. And then Growing Ranks is on top of our library. Anything else? We could swing in with 2 1s, but I think we're just going to go and pass the turn on this one. And there's nothing more Thanksgiving than getting a bunch of tokens on the battlefield and gaining a bunch of life and, I don't know, having a lot of fun. Now, and this deck is, this is definitely one of the holiday decks that I'm like, man, I wish this was in my rotation more frequently because it's just a lot of fun playing a green-white tokens deck. If you've never played a green-white tokens deck, I highly recommend it. It's, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. You just get a lot of crazy stuff going. You get down Parallel Lives, get down Growing Ranks, and even going for something like Advent of the Worm or something like that to get a 6/6 worm token on the battlefield, you could just end up with some really crazy board states. And, even though you do just kind of get obliterated by a board wipe, still fun. Really enjoy playing it. Opponent's going to go for Reclamation Sage and... Oh, yeah, I guess, you can technically target Courser Krufix off that. Okay, cool. So we lost our Courser, so we have Growing Ranks on top. We've got a pretty good... And unfortunately, with that land on top, we're not going to be able to take advantage of Horn of Greed. So let's see what we draw into. Let's draw into that Growing Ranks. Let's go ahead and go for Dawn of Hope. We have no creature tokens, but if somehow we gain some life, we definitely want to be able to pay 2 on that. So let's go and get down Dawn of Hope. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. Keep our fingers crossed that we do run into a land. Now, one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is food. I love food. And... basically, I try to eat healthy throughout the year so I can, around times like Thanksgiving, just eat like a complete jerk, and I always love it. So I'm going to tell you about my Thanksgiving. Typically what we do is my mom and dad, we both have, we still celebrate with both families, so that's always nice that I get to have 2 Thanksgivings. So that's really enjoyable. And then we also have a Thanksgiving for my wife's side too. And so we have a Thanksgiving at their house. So really, when it's all said and done, I end up with about 3 Thanksgivings over the course of about 2 weeks, which is really nice. Now, my parents' Thanksgiving, we have fried turkey, which is just, if you've never had fried turkey, it is so good. And my grandma, she makes a turkey in the oven, and it's still really good. She spends all time, basting it, putting different things on it, and one of the things that makes it really, it's really good. You get a labor of love. But with the fried turkey, you just kind of drop it in the fryer and fry it for like 30, 40. I don't know how long it is, so don't go off what I'm saying to fry your own turkey. But, you just drop the turkey in there. One of the things that makes it taste really good is you have this injector, and you inject little flavorings into it. So you can get like Cajun flavorings, you can get like spicy flavorings, but you just kind of, it's like you're giving the turkey a shot. You just kind of stick it in different places, and then you kind of flavors the meat, then you deep fry it, and you take it out after 30 minutes, and it's crispy, and it's tender, and it tastes really good, and it is absolutely amazing. So, it just makes me laugh because my grandma slaves over a turkey all day, and you just drop a turkey in a fryer for like 30 minutes, and it usually, anything that's fried is always going to taste better than something like that. So, but if you never had fried turkey, and you have a fryer or something like that, go for it. It's one of my favorite things with Thanksgiving. We'll talk about the sides here in just a second. So let's see what we draw into. Hopefully we hit a land, Arachnogenesis. Okay. Well, that'll give us some tokens. Do we want to set this up to where and we can't get it down on Growing Ranks, which is really a bummer. Yeah, let's just go and leave up Arachnogenesis, because basically what's going to happen on this is they decide to swing in with the entire crew. That'll give us at least 4 tokens on the battlefield, and then I was hoping to get down parallel lives first. That would definitely help us kind of get a game plan going. But this might be a little bit more of a commentary video because we got cut off pretty quick with that cursed totem, which is that happens sometimes. But yeah, as far as these sides for Thanksgiving, one of my favorite sides is my grandmother. She makes German noodles every single year, and they're actually not. It's not Spatzel. Spatzel's really good, but it's like these really thin noodles, and I don't know how to describe it other than it comes from Giddings, Texas, which is a if you never know what Giddings, it's a real small town here in Texas, and it has a really heavy German population, and so they're just real kind of just basic noodles. I mean, they're almost just kind of like flat ramen. If you were to buy a pack of ramen noodles, except all the noodles were flat, that's what they look like, and it just has a really simple broth on it. But I don't know how to describe it, but they're so good. It's just one of those things where she only makes it for Thanksgiving, so it always it makes them taste extra special though when we get them from Thanksgiving. And so that's one of the favorite things that she makes. She also makes really good dressing. She has this huge roaster that she's been doing Thanksgiving for a long time now. And so this is not her first rodeo when she does Thanksgiving. So she makes a huge tub of dressing, which is always really good. All right, do we have the entire crew swinging in? Do we? Yeah, it's better than nothing. That's going to be 8, that's going to be 10. Yeah, let's go for Arachnogenesis. We'll at least get something going. Get a few tokens. That way we can at least use something like Populate. That's going to be no damage being dealt this turn. That's still going to leave us at 27. Now, they do have 10 cards in the hand, so this is... we're keeping score at home. The turkey's getting burnt right now, but we're going to try our best. Okay, so we do run into a land. Awesome. So let's go and get down Catacombs. It's going to allow us to draw a land. We draw into Doubling Season. Okay. Let's go and crack Catacombs. Let's go and grab, we already have Savannah on the battlefield. We still need a dual source, so we're going to go and shock in Temple Garden at this point right now, especially since we don't have basics. We need to be able to get down Trostani at some point. We're definitely going to pay that 2 live. And yeah, I guess at this point, 1, 2, let's go for Growing Ranks. I bet somehow we can, at the beginning of your turn, populate. Yeah, then we get down Doubling Season the following turn. If we hit the lane drop, I think that'll work. And then that'll allow us to maybe kind of stabilize in a way. You're not looking at any sort of trample from our opponent's side. And maybe if we get down Growing Ranks, Parallel Lives, and then Doubling Season, we can get some sort of action going on our side of the battlefield. But yeah, she makes some dressing. The dressing's absolutely wonderful. It's, there's different dressings out there, but her dressing is definitely more of a, it's kind of like a... When I say mashed potato consistency, it's not as like creamy and wet as mashed potatoes, but it's kind of like it's definitely more on the moisture side. And it's really, really good dressing. I love it. And then sweet potatoes, always really enjoy sweet potatoes. And the way we do sweet potatoes, at least for our Thanksgiving, is they do half not black sugar, half brown sugar and half marshmallows. And so that way the people like brown sugar, they can grab that. If they like marshmallows, then grab the other side. So what I usually do is I just scoop it out of the middle, and that's always really good because you can get some brown sugar and some marshmallows, and oh, that's the best thing right there. And of course we have green beans and things like this. And actually this year, I'm recording this before Thanksgiving, but I'm going to be bringing some tablitas to Thanksgiving. I'm going to cook them on my grill. And if you don't know what tablitas are, those are like basically cross-cut ribs. Like imagine if you had a rack of ribs and you cut them into bacon strips where the bones are, you can see the little circular bones across the strip. Those are tablitas, and they are really good. And so I'm going to be bringing, in fact, I'm going to be grilling those here in a little bit. So if you've watched this video and you haven't eaten yet, I do apologize because I'm just talking about food, and this is probably going to make you want to go eat something. But yeah, I'm going to be grilling some tablitas here in a little bit after this match. After Azusa beats us, hopefully we can win. I want to win. I want to beat Azusa. So, but at least I've got tablitas to look forward to here in a little bit. What else do we bring? My grandma, she always also makes a pumpkin pie, and she's a really good cook. She's been doing this stuff for a long time. She also makes some coffee cake, which is just absolutely wonderful. And it's kind of just like a thin bread layer with some sort of crumble on top, like the cinnamon sugar butter build. It is really good. We're looking at 7. That's going to be 13 coming across, 15. That's going to put us down pretty low. You know what? Yeah, we're just going to go and let this come across. We need to maintain our tokens on the battlefield at this point right now. Now, what we can do is with Twilight Drover, we can get a few extra counters on there with Twilight Drover, but at this point right now, it is it's not looking so hot. They've got Sanctum of Ugin, they've got Eldrazi Temple going. This is not looking good. So pretty much whatever they get going. Bane of Progress. All right, good game to our opponent. That's going to get it. We finally released the shackles off of Absint's Pilgrim, but at this point right now, that's going to get rid of a Dawn of Hope and Growing Ranks, and that's going to be pretty brutal for us. We'll see what else they get down for the turn. We'll see what we draw into. But if you're keeping score at home, this doesn't look so good. That's going to be Vorin Collects. Okay, so we've got the full mono green team assembled on the battlefield. Good game to our opponent. We're going to go and scoop this one up. The Azusa, she got out there and said, no Thanksgiving for the Trostanis. No, I'm going to make sure all their food gets knocked off the table. So good game to our opponent. They definitely got this one. When they got off to that quick curse totem, that really shut us down on Avacyn's Pilgrim, and we could just basically just not get anything done. We had everything ripe to get some good tokens going, but unfortunately we just didn't hit any lands, and then Azusa stole all of our Thanksgiving food. So, hope you have a good Thanksgiving today, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.